Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, I am so excited to share my personal, absolutely foolproof recipe for basbousa. We're talking about that perfect pastry shop quality, unbelievably crumbly, beautifully golden, and just so delicious every single time. Look, I know basbousa can be tricky. It can be a real headache, right? Sometimes it comes out dry, sometimes it's tough and cakey, but I promise you, this recipe is the one. It is my go-to, my foolproof solution, and if you just follow along with me, it is going to work perfectly for you, even if it's your very first try. Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the two absolute pillars of this entire recipe, the soaking syrup and the semolina base. Getting these right is fundamental. Everything else we do builds on this foundation, so let's get it perfect from the get-go. First up, the syrup, and you'll see just how simple this is. We just need 1.5 cups of water, 1.25 cups of sugar, a couple of lemon slices, that's to keep it from crystallizing, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I always add a tablespoon of ghee right at the end. It's totally optional, but trust me, it gives the final basbousa this incredible shine and a subtle richness that's just, perfect. The process couldn't be easier. In a pot, just combine your water, sugar, and lemon and give it a quick stir till the sugar's gone. Now, keep an eye on it and bring it to one single boil, and I mean just one. The second you see those first big bubbles rise up, kill the heat immediately. Stir in your vanilla and ghee, and that's it. It should be a really thin syrup, kind of like sugar water, not thick like honey. And now, the most important part, set it aside to cool down completely. This is so crucial for later. All right, so while our syrup is cooling, I'm going to let you in on a little secret of mine that takes the flavor here to a whole other level. Before we mix our dry ingredients, we are going to gently toast the coconut and the milk powder. This one tiny step is an absolute game changer. It creates this warm, nutty, and incredibly aromatic base that makes a world of difference in the final product. So for our dry mix, you're going to need 3 cups of fine semolina. And the fine grain is really key here. It gives you that tender, melt-in-your-mouth texture, and it absorbs the syrup just perfectly. Then add your sugar, and of course, our toasted coconut and milk powder. You just toss them in a dry pan over low heat, stir them constantly till they're fragrant, and just starting to turn a beautiful light gold. Okay, now we are at the most critical stage, combining everything to form the batter. The absolute key here, the one thing you have to remember, is a gentle touch. This is where the magic really happens and where that perfect crumbly texture is born. And here are the wet ingredients that'll bring it all together. We've got some lovely melted ghee, some milk, a little bit of heavy syrup. You can also use glucose or honey here. They work great. And of course, vanilla for that beautiful aroma. Now let's walk through this carefully. First, in a small pot, gently warm up the milk, sugar, vanilla, and heavy syrup, just until the sugar dissolves. It should just be warm to the touch, not hot at all. Second, in your big bowl of dry ingredients, pour in that melted ghee. Now use your fingertips and just rub it in until every single grain of semolina is coated. Third, pour that warm milk mixture right over the top. And finally, and this is the most important part, fold everything together gently from the bottom up and stop the second it's combined. So I really need to stress this. Overmixing is the #1 enemy of a good basbousa. It activates the gluten, and you will get a tough, dry, cake-like result. No one wants that. A gentle fold is all you need for that signature light and crumbly texture. Seriously, as soon as you don't see any more dry bits, you stop. Please do not overmix. Okay, once your batter is just mixed, spread it evenly into a greased 30-centimeter pan. Then pop it into the fridge to rest for just 15 minutes while your oven preheats. This little rest is so important. It gives the semolina grains a chance to swell and absorb some of that moisture, which is the secret to preventing a dense, heavy basbousa later. And now we're heading into the final stages. Oh, your kitchen is about to smell absolutely incredible. This is where the real transformation happens. The baking, that beautiful golden color, and that final satisfying soak. This is where it all comes together. We're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius, right on the middle rack. It should take about 30 minutes. You'll know it's ready for the next step when the edges start to pull away from the pan and turn a lovely golden brown. Then just switch to the top heat, or the broiler, for a minute or two to get that beautiful deep golden color all over the top. And this is a really important point. Please don't be afraid of a deep golden brown. Don't pull it out when it's just pale yellow. You really want a rich, deep color. That beautiful color isn't just for looks, that is flavor. It creates a delicious, slightly crispy top layer and a depth that is absolutely essential for the perfect basbousa. Okay, so the kitchen smells amazing. The basbousa is perfectly browned, and it's sizzling hot right out of the oven. Are you ready for the single most satisfying moment in this entire process? Here it is. This is the golden rule you must never, ever forget. The basbousa has to be piping hot, straight from the oven, and the syrup has to be completely cool, at room temperature. The second it comes out of the oven, you immediately pour that cool syrup all over the hot basbousa. And just listen for that amazing sizzle. There is the sound of success. It's going to drink up all of that syrup just like a sponge. Now, for a beautiful, professional-looking gloss, you can brush the top with a little more melted ghee. And now comes the hardest part of the entire recipe. You have to let it rest. I know how tempting it is to dig right in, but letting it cool completely allows the syrup to settle and the texture to set perfectly. Your patience here is the key to getting those clean, gorgeous slices that actually hold their shape. And here it is, your incredible reward for all that patience. A perfectly moist and crumbly interior, completely saturated with that fragrant syrup, all contrasted by a crisp golden crust on top. The layers of texture and flavor are just heavenly. I absolutely love to serve a slice with a big dollop of thick cream. So there you have it, my complete guide to the perfect basbousa. I really hope you feel confident and excited to try this. The only question left is, are you ready to go fill your kitchen with the most incredible aroma and create something truly special?